Greetings, my dear beloved children. Today we will talk about your attitude to work. The majority of people divide the work they have to do into good and bad, interesting and boring, loved and unloved one. In the dual world it is considered to be normal, as everything here has its opposite. What about work in the fifth dimension? In the unipolar world, any kind of work there breeds enjoyment, creativity, and is a means of self-expression and bringing joy to others. Is it possible to reach this state still living in the third dimension world? Certainly, it is, my dear ones. It will not only make your own life and that of others brighter, but will also bring you closer to the long-awaited transition. So now we will discuss what you should do to make it happen as quick as possible. The first thing you should think about is what kind of work seems to be boring and unloved to you. If you have no chances to escape this work, you have nothing else to do but to turn it from unloved into loved one. And this is how you can do it. To start with, think what it gives not to you personally but to people, and how you can bring joy to them with the help of this work. By this you will lay the cornerstone of possible solution search that will allow you to transform the unloved work so that it will turn into everlasting source of joy and happiness. Let's have a case study. I know that if you like cooking, many treat it as a necessity, burden, or boring routine. It results in the meals cooked by them generating the same dull, consequently, low vibration frequency energy. Yet, my dear ones, you can manage to make a real feast out of an ordinary meal with no special efforts or extra expenses. What is needed is just your desire to bring joy to yourself and your family, accompanied by your fantasy and creative approach. In this case, your meal will become an occasion. Having absorbed your love, good mood and creativity, the food will carry a different type of energy that will be communicated to your relatives or friends. You can also think of some rituals and traditions of your own, which already exists in many families. It is important not to follow somebody else's patterns imposed from outside, even if they seem to be attractive, but find something new, genuine and unique that will confer your own energy, individual and inimitable. Why is it so important? Because by doing this you will break free from the limits of well-established behavior stereotypes that are imposed on you by national traditions, fashion or advertisements, which will mean one more step forward to the new space of the fifth dimension. And in order to achieve the best possible results in whatever work you do, don't forget that only complete and self-forgetful immersion in the state of your now can fill your work with the energy of the highest vibration frequency. Here we will stop for today. Loving you endlessly, Father Absolute spoke to you. Greetings, my dear beloved children. So, let's go on talking about the ways you can turn any work into a creative pastime and learn to concentrate totally on the things you are busy with at the moment. Actually, it is not as simple as may seem at first sight, and there is a reason for that. The third dimension world you live in is oversaturated with energies of both different vibration frequencies and numerous mental images generated by thousands and thousands of people. And it happens because of the fact that the overwhelming majority of your planet population is possessed by astral beings, ranging from those of the lower level to those of the upper one. Yet, a larger part is susceptible to the medium astral beings. In fact, the so-called everyday life sub-level of it. Any emotionally encouraged thought that confers censure, dissatisfaction or annoyance is taken up by astral beings straight away and puffed up by them, enormously increasing the range of action of the initiated negative energy that starts life of its own, intruding into auras of other people. There occurs a chain reaction of hovering in the air, low vibration frequency energies alike. The same happens to mental images. For instance, any news given earnest consideration by the mass media begins to take minds of thousands of people, and these mental images also start living life of their own, unilaterally intruding into the minds of people irrespective of their desires. And many of you are likely to have noticed that about yourself. It is certain to happen not by chance. Everybody attracts what is typical just of them. So, someone interested in politics can catch thoughts related to this topic, while others fascinated by high life can catch some gossips about celebrities spread by the mass media, especially if they have already read or heard something about it themselves. But more often your thoughts jump from one issue to another in an attempt to embrace the whole scope of your interests, and, as a rule, they accompany any work you do, preventing you from concentrating on it to a full degree. So, how can you get rid of these unwelcome guests? Try to assimilate, my dear ones, the easy practice that follows. When you set about some work, try to make a conversation with the object of your work. It does not matter what it is: foodstuffs, plants, kitchen utensils, sewing, your car or computer, a task you are assigned with, or your handcraft. To put it short, Everything you deal with either physically or mentally should become loved and dear to you. It is essential to concentrate only on the thing that is in your mind or your hands right now. Establish a telepathic contact with the thing you are working with at the moment and communicate with the objects of your work as if they were living. Be loving and grateful to them, trying to resonate to them. Merge the single energy space in order to feel each other to the fullest possible extent. It is easy to perceive when you resonate to the plants when looking after them or planting them, as well as to the foodstuffs you cook. Do not switch over to unrelated issues and getting merged with the object of your attention. In terms of energy, you will not only enjoy your communication with it but will also get excellent results to make you and your relatives happy. I suggest you should start with this, my dear ones, and I believe that little by little the attitude like this to everything you do will become your habit and you will be able to perceive the incomparable magic of the state living here and now. I bless you and love immensely. Father Absolute spoke to you. Greetings, my dear beloved children. So as to round up with the topic of work today, I would like to give you one more advice, and it has to do with the higher powers of the universe support of the one who has entered the path of spiritual development. I have already told you that every awakened human is always guided by their heavenly helpers, angels, archangels, ascended masters, their galaxy family. So, to make the most of any undertaking or anything you do, always ask them for help. They are sure to watch you from the subtle level of Earth anyway, but if you ask for their help in some certain situation yourself, they will get an extra stimulus to act in a more vigorous manner so that your desires come true at the physical level as fast as possible. Yet, you should always remember that if your plans are inconsistent with those of your soul, not only will the higher powers reject to help you, but they will do their best to prevent your desire from coming true. Ancient wise souls always feel that this influences the events of their life. If their undertaking constantly faces nothing but obstacles, they understand that it is not their path and stop in good time. If everything goes smoothly, easily and fast, it is all plain sailing. It means everything is fine. Their decision was right and all the higher powers helped them to make their dreams real. And in practice, the influence like this is implemented in the following way. If your heavenly helpers see that you are up to something that can bring you no good, they are slow in helping you, just remaining observers and waiting patiently for you to learn another lesson and understand the invalidity of your actions yourself. If you, eventually, hear your soul and set about the things it, not your human ego, is so eager to deal with, all the forces of light will give you a helping hand. They will merge with you in terms of energy, placing you into their field of high vibration frequency. It will enable you to remain at the peak of positive energies, which will inspire your creativity and give you strength, optimism and commitment. You will make everything go with a run. You will come across the right people at the same wavelength with you, since you automatically will attract them by your high vibrations. You will get support and understanding wherever you go, which will allow you to implement your plan in the shortest possible time and in the best possible manner. This by far the greatest energy assistance will be supplied to you and your undertaking by the higher powers that you asked for help. This is exactly the mechanism of higher powers' interaction with a human being switched over to service or just entered the spiritual path their soul was striving for. I know that some of you think they can call on your heavenly helpers only on some serious and crucial occasions of your life. You are shy to bother them with the little nothings of life. You should know, my beloved ones, there are no trifles for them. They are well aware how hard it is sometimes for you to manage the third dimension world problems that are wounds to your gentle souls. Therefore, call on them in anything you do, both big and small. Ask them to be standing by you every day, every minute, no matter what you do, even if it is just your daily routine. In this case, you will be all the time within their field, their high vibrations, and whatever you do will turn out well. I bless you, my dear ones, and love immensely. Father Absolute spoke to you.